rock it, at least for continuity.
Absolutely. What is good, ladies and gents? How are we doing out there in the world? How are we feeling? We are off and rolling. October 15th, week 5 of the NFL, finally in the books again. And we, like I said, we are just rolling, guys. This is the Bet Champ Show after hours with you. Just here to chop it up, see what you guys want to talk about. A little football chat here and there, a little sports talk going on. NBA preseason starting to take off as well. So a lot of sports coming our way, ladies and gents. Myself, and of course, we got the big fella. We got the Teflon Don, the money man himself, Mr. WWE. How we feeling tonight?
Outstanding. It's a great night. Great night for sports. Yeah, a lot of happenings in the NFL going on. NBA getting ready to kick off. A little drama with that Knicks T-Wolf game. A lot of hurt feelings, I think, there with Dante. So, but just a lot going on. It's a good time to be a sports fan.
100%. Off and rolling, ladies and gents. Appreciate all the live viewers and listeners. If you got any questions, anything going on you want to hear about in the sports world, just put it in the chat. We'll give you a shout out on the show and get the ball rolling. You kind of brought up an interesting, just to kind of jumpstart us, the whole T-Wolves Knicks thing. That was interesting. DiVincenzo's at the line. He's kind of chirping back and forth and everything. And of course that, you'd expect that, especially with how everything went down when, for this past kind of going in the summer, everything up until this point, it was really all going around the Nova Knicks. We got the Nova Knicks going on. This is going to be great, everything. And that's kind of what we expected. And to be honest, I know for yourself, I'll speak for me though. I was excited about that. I was like, man, these guys could actually be pretty good. Obviously they have chemistry together, history together. And I think honestly, a little bit of the world was like, dang, let's see what these guys can do. And then obviously, as of a couple, few days start going by here in the now, you hear about the Cat trade. Cat now going over to the Knicks and DiVincenzo, right, going over with Julius Randle to the Timberwolves. Kind of hop back in that, with what's happened present time now. DiVincenzo kind of chirping everything going on. He's a big Knicks guy, as you guys all know, so he's kind of he's with it.
Yeah. So, well, from everything that I've read and heard is, some false reports out there. Dante did not want to be traded. He wasn't worrying about his minutes, and I just think I still think he's hurt. I think to play in the Garden is pretty cool. That's your home, right? They call it the Mecca. It's pretty neat. But when you're winning, and he's coming off a season where you know what I mean? He's felt that energy. He's felt the vibe. He's part of the team. They did a GQ photo shoot, the Nova guys, the 4 players. It was going to be in GQ magazine. Like, he's thinking, hey, we're prepped. And then you get shipped to Minnesota, and I think he's still – and I don't blame him. He's still mad at it. And you should be, right, if you take pride in who you are and what you do. So, yeah, he's chirping at Tibbs. I don't know the deal with Rick Brunson's dad. They went at it. That's 100% hurt feelings. And just like, man, what the fuck? Why do I got to be the guy to go?
Right.
I kept you in the playoffs. I kept you when everybody was hurt. But it was the asking price that Minnesota wanted. I'm glad to see it. That's going to make a good rivalry. They're going to come around again in the regular season. And
100%.
Yeah. So, but that's what I'm thinking, and I don't blame the guy. He was all in on the Knicks, and then this wasn't something that was planned. This one day, I forget he was saying how he even got it. I think Bridges or somebody called him, like he didn't even know.
I'm sure he didn't. Like, it was just, because that was the crazy part too. We didn't even know. None of us. I just remember. I saw a notification on my phone and I was like, I pulled up ESPN immediately, saw the whole thing. It was a shock, I feel like, to everyone. Because, again, everyone was just talking about the Nova Knicks. And who would have thought Minnesota would have got rid of Cat, right? there was kind of some talk in the
Yeah.
air a little about that a little before, but we were like, there's no way they get rid of Cat. Cat, that was their go-to guy. You know, that's the guy they drafted, everything like that. And but it goes to show, kind of going back to it, that's really how the business of sports works. You know, you could like a
Business.
place, you could be in love with a place for so long, but I mean it comes down to all these guys in the suits, right? They're going to do some talking, probably some talking behind your back, and a deal's going to be made, and you probably don't know what the hell's going on. You're just now shipped off to somewhere else. That's really how it is.
Yeah. And it's okay. That's like I said, it's good, man. The guy wears it, like he said himself, he wears his emotions on his sleeve. And I think he just wanted to tell the coaching staff and everybody, fuck you.
Yeah,
You guys fucked me, so fuck you. This is what
absolutely.
happens.
Yeah.
He was telling Brunson's dad, this is what happens when they let you make decisions. And he's hitting the three throws. That's classic.
Yeah.
But I think he also knows, like, man, that nobody knows the future, but the Knicks have a chance to win the East. And I think that's what he's saying. That would have been a nice ride. Nice energy with my boys. And it feels like you've been voted off the island.
100%.
That's where he's looking at this. Like, yeah, Randall's just been quiet. He's been in the woods a little bit.
Yeah, I
He
think
kind of knew it was coming.
he knew it was coming. I think a lot of people, and that's
Yeah.
the other thing, I feel like a lot of people in the sports world knew that was coming, right? You start to, especially with the injuries that kind of occurred with the Knicks, especially this last year, and you saw how great the team was even without Julius Randle and everything. I feel like everyone knew like it would mesh better if he might be somewhere else. So we'll see. I'm still where I'm at though. Obviously now you got a quote unquote center with the Knicks. But again, we've talked about this. He's a 3-point shooting guy. He kind of fades out to the beyond the arc and everything rather than being down low, maybe more than he should, right? And then again, I really don't. I liked DiVincenzo a lot. I thought he was going to be great with the Knicks, and I really wish him the best over in Minnesota. But I don't see how Minnesota got better now, losing quote unquote one of their best players over there, and you got a ball dominant guy like Julius Randle with Anthony Edwards. I don't know how those two are going to mesh with each other and everything. I think DiVincenzo's a great addition for them because he's a spot up shooter, so that's good on that end. But we'll see what happens. I mean, these like you said, there's definitely going to be a new rivalry. So that's what I look forward to. I love when guys start chirping with each other, and hopefully it makes for some great late night games and everything.
And, what do we do in sports? It's a copycat league, they say, right? So you have the champs in Boston. What did Boston do? They spread out on the three, all five of them, and they won a title. So now it's that copycat. Hey, we're going to bring in Cat, but Cat can also play the three, or play out on the three. Let's spread out the team. So we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to. We got, I think, another week or 8 days until the season starts, and then it's on. I'm really looking forward to the NBA. Yeah,
100%, ladies and gents. Appreciate all the live viewers and listeners. Appreciate you guys. Let us know what your thoughts are. NBA, like he said, coming right quick. And I know we're going to get some player props out for those. Especially in some of these early games. I like when you have those early games, you can kind of see if you can kind of quote unquote cheat Vegas a little, because not everyone has the lines up to date with the first couple games. So you kind of got to see what you like there. But we'll definitely be on some NBA. Going back into it, talking about guys moving to different places, heading over to the NFL. Obviously, some very great news today for you as well as for the Buffalo Bills. 2 guys going to new location. You got Amari Cooper going to the Buffalo Bills. And again, Davante Adams made it official. He will be reunited with Aaron Rodgers over at JetLife Stadium, baby. How are we feeling?
Yes.
We'll talk both of them. Obviously, Davante's huge for you and everything. But even Amari going to the Bills, what a great weapon for Josh Allen.
Correct. I think we talked earlier on this when the season started. And I think it was like week 3 again. Just my own opinion on it with Buffalo. It was a failed experiment. They started off with that everyone eats. And that's not what the NFL is. You have to have a go-to guy. They got rid of Davis. They got rid of Diggs. And you're seeing it with Josh Allen and his numbers. These guys aren't catching balls. They're dropping more balls. You need that all-star wide receiver. So I definitely like what they did. They went out and picked them up a good receiver in Amari. Hopefully they'll gel. And yeah, that was a tough game Monday night, but they're right there. They'll do it one more time, and I think it's going to be these two teams battling for the Eastern title.
100%. Bill, and here's the thing with the Bills, and this is how crazy football, this is how crazy the NFL is with the league and everything and how games are played. We thought coming into this, Diggs is gone, making some moves with everything. Obviously, there was a lot of stuff in the locker room. Should McDermott still be the coach over there with how things are going? Obviously, they're not making it far in the playoffs. And we kind of thought, this year is probably going to be a slower year for the Bills. However, they're showing us that they can definitely win some games. Obviously, they just had the big primetime win the other night and everything. And now you add a guy like Amari Cooper, a weapon now to kind of fulfill that Stephon Diggs role for Josh Allen. And Amari Cooper is it's like he's a great wide receiver in the league. He's just one of those quiet guys, though. So you don't hear about him too much because he doesn't really talk too much. But this guy, you go back to the Browns, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons and everything. So this guy does his thing. He's reliable. Always great to have around. So I could see a little duo linking up for this one. So we'll see what happens. But, I mean, this is a great move for the Bills for sure with the position they're in.
Yeah, I like it. I like it for them. I think they looked at it and just said, we need a go-to. No, everyone has a go-to who wins. We tried it without bringing Cooper, and I hope it works for them other than when they play the Jets.
110%. And then, of course, we move over. Davante Adams linked up again. Aaron Rodgers. I feel like we knew. I know he's hyped about it. We kind of figured this is what was going to happen with everything going on with him in Las Vegas with the Raiders. You could clearly see he wasn't really happy, and he definitely likes to play with a certain type of person. And now you see I feel like you've seen some great things with the Jets, especially with the connection Aaron has with Lazard. But then you move over with everyone else. They're still not really on tune with some of these other receivers and everything. And you can tell Aaron's definitely getting frustrated with some of the things going on. I mean, that pick last night to end the game, that you might have been off a little on the timing and everything with the wide receiver. And you could tell Aaron was frustrated with how it was supposed to go because he wanted to make that play and everything. Now you got your.
And that was a great pick. Hands up to that dude.
That was a good pick.
That was a crazy pick. Yeah, it was like you're thinking it's going to fall right in Williams' hands, and then some guy just comes over top,
right,
like a freaking seagull stealing your.
And obviously, Williams slipped and everything. Those are one of those things.
Yeah.
Aaron's not trying to throw the pick there or anything. Obviously, the guy slipped and everything, and the dude made a play on defense. But now you got another go-to guy. Obviously, you have Lazard, who's on time with Aaron Rodgers, but now you got your go-to guy, Davante Adams, who will certainly be on time with Aaron Rodgers, just with the play calling, everything going on in the line and whatnot. So I look forward to this. So hopefully this could help them turn some things around. Obviously, coming off a couple losses here, but it's so early right now. This is a great time to add one of these pieces to your team to get things up and jumping again. And again, a great mentor here in Davante Adams for these other receivers on the Jets team. Like, this is something you gotta take advantage of these guys' times while they're here for this period of time.
Yep. That's perfectly put too. I mean, it's early. Jets are a game back in the East. Now, they got to travel to Pittsburgh this week. That's going to be a tough game, that defense. But then you got New England. You got Seattle. Still got Miami twice. Like, there are wins on the board. And just like, I don't know if you remember when Rodgers came over, I made it simple. I said, listen, this is what you do. Forget all, because, we live in a world now where everything's hate. A lot of hate. Jets are out of it. Everything that's going on. Did the Jets improve? I say they did. They gave up a third-round pick for Davante Adams. Are you kidding me?
That's crazy.
The team got better. It's just how it is. They got better. Yeah, right? Rodgers or Zach Wilson. The team got better when Rodgers got there. People saw that Hail Mary last night. No one's making that throw. Zach isn't. So, the team's getting better. I can't tell you they're going to win, make the playoffs, win another game. But I like the fact that management is trying to win, and they're making moves to win. And I'll say the same with Buffalo. They got on the phone, said we need to do better than this. Let's improve. I'll pick on a team, just a random team. You look at the Jags, right? Like, you don't think Jag fans are wishing their ownership would do shit? Man, can you fire our coach? Can you move somebody around? Can we do something? Teams, you're sitting there and you have to eat it. You're like, man, we're 0-5, we're 1-4. At least they're trying to do something. People say, oh, it sucks, it won't work. All right, but they tried. That's what I like about it, right? That's what I appreciate as a Jets fan. And even getting rid of Robert Saleh, I liked him, but it wasn't working. The team wasn't performing like they should. We have to be accountable, right? You just do. So they made a change. They still lost. They were in that 2 missed damn field goals. They probably would have won the game, but they didn't, So, but they're in these games. You lost to Minnesota by 6. That's an undefeated team. The Denver game in the storm. You're in these games. You're not getting blown out, say, like Dallas did against Detroit. You're playing good teams and you're hanging. So maybe Adams will be that piece. It was really interesting that they announced today as well he's going to play Sunday.
Oh, 100%.
And
he knows who he's playing with. You know what I mean? It's not like he's going to learn anything. So,
this is just Eric McCullough, right? I'm thinking, because they are good friends. And I wouldn't be surprised if Adams had that playbook 2 weeks ago already. You know what I mean? I wouldn't. Nobody's talking nothing. You can't do it. It's not right. I get all that. But you and I just talking, you talking about coming over to my side. Hey, ZJ, maybe you want to study up on some of these routes, some of these play calling terminology. We'll see how long he plays and how effective he is. Either he knew it early or you're really a fucking genius picking up that offense that quick. You're right. He knows the routes and things, but it's the terminologies and getting that set.
Yeah, 100%.
To your second point, yeah, what a great guy to have Wilson fall under. Hey, this is how you run a route to perfection. This is how we catch. This is how, man, what a Hall of Famer coming in to groom you up. He's not taking your spot. He's there for a year or two, but to groom you up so you carry the legacy. Man, that's golden again. Whether we don't 100%. Win another game, you're So I think there's not really much of a loss because it was a 3rd round pick. You didn't do anything. He's going to take reps from Mike Williams. Because Lazard's still out there, Wilson's going to be out there, and then you'll have Adams as well. In Conklin. So, but
100%.
All good. Yeah, I'm excited to see how it goes. Tough. They got Pittsburgh this weekend, and that's a killer defense.
Yeah. Very tough.
I mean, I almost feel like, let's just put Tyrod out there.
Dude's been playing with Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew, and if there's one cadence he knows Aaron Rodgers' cadence. So I love it. I mean, get him out there on Sunday. Get him out there with him. You get it going. Flip the script here. Get a new thing rolling. Because obviously Lazard, great receiver right now. He shouldn't be your number 1 right now, right? That he's playing like it for sure, which is great to have now that you add Devontae Adams and you have Garrett Wilson and everything. So that's a nice little 3 wide receiver lineup right there and everything. Those guys Lazard and Adams got to get Wilson on the same page as they're on because they know how Aaron likes to operate it and everything. So to what you said, he's not taking the reps away from Wilson. This is a great opportunity to be like, man, I'm with some great players that know how a great quarterback plays. How can I be great with them as well? So I look forward to seeing it. I really do. I think we all wanted to see Adams go to the Jets and everything. We didn't want to see him obviously go to the Cowboys or the Steelers or anything. So looking forward to it. But week 5 in the books, ladies and gents. Shout out to all the live viewers and listeners. Appreciate you guys. Let us know what you're thinking. But hopping back into week 5, obviously, anything that stood out to you, I thought that Ravens Commanders game was great. I know Sach isn't big on Jaden Daniels and everything, but I think he's gonna, that was a nice game there. They were neck and neck with each other and everything. Obviously the Cowboys are just getting, I don't know what's going on with them. I've said this so well, and it's really, I'll just say this before you go. It's really not the team. I feel like it's really just ownership. And it's been like that for the longest time. I feel like that's how it is over there. It's like it's a lone island over there with everything. So
It,
go
it
ahead.
it seemed like this year particularly, the off season, right, was a season of running backs. A lot of running backs moved teams. Barkley, Derrick Henry, Miles Sanders. These guys were all moving, and the Cowboys brought Zeke back. They didn't do anything to him.
For
No
what?
defense is playing them worrying about the run game. None. Nobody is worrying about that. They know you're going to have to throw that ball. But that was their big pickup in free agency was fucking Zeke, right? And Sach made the point, and it's true. Hey, no better guy when the ball's on the 3-yard line. The problem is you got to go 97 yards to get to the 3-yard line, and that's what's going on. Yeah, it's hard to tell, but I'll tell you what. Right to your point on the Commanders. Listen, if they beat Philly, if they beat Dallas, they are them. We can't say, hey, do it for 2 years, do it for 3. He's going to get hurt. They matched up, they met on the field, and they won. Fucking Philly was tied with the Browns, the worst team in the league at halftime, 10-10. So you look in the East, the two top contenders, or what we thought would be, were going to be Eagles, Cowboys, and they're both struggling. Meanwhile, Jaden Daniels is light years ahead of a rookie. I think he has the whole playbook. He's changing plays at the line. The guys enjoy playing with him. And, you lost to Baltimore, but that's a pretty good Baltimore team. And you're learning how to win.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to the end of the season. That's when now the way they do it, you play your conference games towards the end. And they're going to be playing Dallas. And they're going to play Philly. What are you going to say? You can't just say, hey, there was injuries or – no, you got. So that was really – you're right. That was a really good one. There was a lot going on.
There was a lot. Obviously, Bengals got a win. Obviously, they played the Giants and everything, but finally got their win there and whatnot. So that happened.
Yeah.
Bears got a win. Caleb Williams starting to come a little in the form and everything. Obviously, he's got a lot more growth, but you get some confidence with some of these wins going on. The thing I was going to mention to you here's what I'll say real quick. When you look at all these rookie quarterbacks, these guys come into these new franchises and you're starting to look how you can cater around them. What are their strengths? What can we use from them? That's why you were saying with Jaden Daniels, he's controlling the offense. He's the guy. He's supposed to be the guy there. So you're going to let him control the offense. You're going to cater to what's going on. Rather where you have a guy, you might have gotten a trade or something, or he's coming over for a 2-year deal, 1-year deal or whatnot. You're putting him in a system. These rookies coming in, they are the system. You're figuring out how they want to play and everything. You look at the Raiders. Minshew's coming over to us. Obviously he's benched too. Aiden O'Connell, they're in a system. They're being told kind of what to do.
Yeah.
These rookies kind of have a little freedom here and can kind of see what they like and whatnot. So they get to control how everything goes.
And that's a great point because you look at the two, Jaden Daniels. So there's two ways you can do this. And I'll look at your boy Bo, right? Broncos are, and they're both right if they can handle it. Broncos to me are, how can we say, they're slow pacing it, right? Hey, we're going to go slow with opening these playbooks, open it going. I think they went to that next level this week, and you saw it a little bit. He's a little behind on some throws. He was making longer throws than he usually does. He's still getting up to the speed at this level now. It steps where the Redskins just gave Jay Daniels the whole thing.
Yeah.
Said, hey, we're running with this whole thing, right? Two ways to do it, and they're both going to be okay. But yeah, they are the system. They're the team. So, and Caleb Williams, look, I like him, but I hate to be the dude, right? But I just can't give it to him this past week. I mean, you played a Jags team that's quit on their coach and quit on each other.
Horrible.
If he can play like that, if he could play like that against Detroit, Minnesota, and Green Bay, you're him. But you beat up a team that's quit already, right? Don't be surprised if New England gets them out there too. The Jags are in a really bad spot. They're just not playing. That game was horrible. Now he still connected on the throws. He did everything, but come on, Komet looked like Justin Jefferson out there. Cole Komet, he'll never have another game like that.
One quarterback we haven't mentioned a lot here. I think we need to start bringing him into some conversations. He's came up a couple times and everything, but one guy we've kind of been a little off and on is Jordan Love. Eric, how are we feeling about Jalen? Great win there. Looks like he's got a lot of man. He's making some throws as well. He's taking some shots down the field, which is cool. It's cool once you see guys start to get a little more comfortable, so they can start taking some of these shots and everything. So, I mean, he's another guy, another young guy, right? Trying to make a name out there.
No, he's looking really good. And in our pre-shows when we were talking, I picked them not to make the playoff. I went with Minnesota and Detroit because I thought he would fall back, and he hasn't. This is on him. He's doing great. And what really surprised me there is the receivers around him. Those guys are balling.
Absolutely, and they're not really big names
around them. Yeah, that's what I mean. Just for this go to work guys, Watson, Dobbs, these guys, and they're out there. I mean, they're balling. I can't say anything other about it. So yeah, they remind me a little bit of the Commanders. They're just having fun. They're out there throwing it, having fun, and getting it done. And that's kind of what Green Bay does, right? So yeah, big props to him. He's growing well. Which is crazy if you think about that team. You went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, and now Jordan
Love. Yeah, those guys know how to find quarterbacks. They know what they're doing.
Yeah,
and that's how it should. That's how it should be. That's one thing you should probably give them credit for and everything. 100%. I'll tell you what though, week 6 coming up. A lot of great games, and we got that Detroit Lions Vikings game. That one is going to be a fun watch. Guarantee it. Those guys are. I mean, both teams absolutely. I mean, like you said, the Lions absolutely destroyed the Cowboys. And you look at, man, the one thing I love about the Lions is they know they're good at running the ball, so they'll just keep running it down your throat. And Goff can throw it too, but man, they got the 2-headed horseman over there with the running back room, and they will run it up your throat, and they will keep doing it. They don't abandon the run. They keep doing it. And obviously, you got them now. Sam Darnold, playing very well with the Vikings. Obviously, Justin Jefferson might shatter a lot of these records for the wide receiver space. This guy's unreal. So, great watch. Great watch.
It should be a great battle. It'll probably be an under game because the both offenses are so good. That's usually how this will play out. But the interesting piece to that, we just saw Detroit do what they do with Dallas. They're back on the road again, going to Minnesota. I think it's in Minnesota. Minnesota's had this bye week to get ready, so it's going to be real. I think it's going to be a really good game. If Aaron Jones is healthy, it should be a nice blow-for-blow game. I do think you're going to see Detroit fall back a little bit. I think losing Hutchinson is major to that defense.
That's huge.
Yeah, and we saw it. He's that guy, right? We saw it with Denver as well when Patrick got hurt. The defense just kind of was like, man, we lost our energy, we lost our guy. That's him. So I'm hoping the rumors going around are that the Jets are talking to Detroit about trading Hassan Reddick, the guy that won't play for us, defensive end, to replace him, and that'd be nice. Maybe pick up a draft pick or something on that. But
sure.
So I do think there's going to be a little bit on defense side. But you're right, between Gibbs and Montgomery, they just pound that fucking ball. Minnesota's got to know it's coming and just put them in a position where they're going to have to score, where the Lions need to be scoring. I'm looking. That's one of the games. Yeah, that circled. I don't know when it is. That should be a primetime game. I don't know.
It's a morning
when they
game.
start moving stuff. That should be
early. That should be a
standalone
game.
Sunday night, a Monday night. Yeah, that should be where that's at. That's the Thunder. Who else? You got the Commanders, Baltimore. Not Commanders, Ball. That was this week. Who's Baltimore playing?
That's gonna. That's
Baltimore
a Monday night game. Yeah, that's a Monday prime game, so that'll be cool. Baker and Lamar battling it out, looking good.
How crazy was that Saints game? That was ridiculous. They're up 20. They're losing at the half. Then they come back, score 30 unanswered. I mean, that was a crazy game. So, yeah, there's just a lot, like I said, a lot of good games coming up. You got to – I don't know. I'm enjoying every week. There's been some bad ones. There's been some trash. But, man, there's been some hella games. And we talked before the season started, right? The thing that I think or I'd like for people to remember is that statistically, historically, however we want to say it, 50 to 40% of the teams in the playoffs in the NFL are new. They're every year. You got almost a whole half of the teams are new. But we're still looking at it like it's last year. We're looking at like Cincinnati should be a banger. You're looking at these teams, the Eagles, the Cow. Well, hey, maybe what we're seeing is who's the new teams this year. Yeah, now we're seeing the Vikings. You're seeing these new teams coming up, the Commanders. You're right, hey, somebody has to be in, and we know it's not going to be the same because the parity in the league is so great. So you wait the 4 weeks. Now you're watching it. Now you can adjust your betting and your mindset. Cincinnati's not good. They're just not.
No,
their offense is great. That defense is horrible.
Horrible.
So, but you spend your first 4 weeks betting on them thinking they're going to be what they were. Now we know we got a pretty good look after 4 weeks, 5 weeks in. Okay, you're not who you were or where you want to be right now. You're not on my top list, So there's other teams as well, but I'd have to get out the phone and see these games coming up. But I know when we were looking at them or talking about them, there's a lot of good games I'm looking for. I'm even looking forward to this Pitt game now that we got Devontae Adams.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Let's see what he's going to be doing out there.
You got other ones. You got the Chiefs going up against the 49ers this week. Obviously, 49ers pretty bang. Another team, right? It's like you said, and it's crazy you mentioned all this, because a guy was talking to me the other day. He's like, right now with the NFL, there's obviously rivalries, but when it comes to the playoffs, there's not really any rivalries going on because each year it's someone different, like you mentioned, and that's the domination of the beast of the NFL. It's anyone's league really every year, and you're looking at new teams. You got a 49ers Chiefs game coming up this week, who last year would have been like, damn, another primetime game. Who can take this one down? 49ers they're just so banged up. They're just kind of out of sorts right now. Obviously, the Chiefs are still the Chiefs, but you look at that, like the Chiefs might blow these guys out. I mean, they could. I'm sure it'll be a good game, but
I was listening to somebody talking on that, right? And it was a good point, kind of a funny point, but he was like, Chiefs are undefeated and good, they're doing what they do, but he's like, I hate watching them. It's just so boring.
It is.
Like, there's nothing. These guys are just grinding out these things. You're like, this is hard. This sucks. Yet the rivalries that you have are more once you get to your championships, right? Like I would say, and let's take the win-loss records out because then it's not a rivalry. But I think Buffalo Chiefs, that's a rivalry in the playoffs because of the history they've had, you know what I mean, their recent history. It seems it always comes to those two. And then the Chiefs will win. Chiefs Baltimore, these things are there. But you're right. There's always going to be some new squads coming up that you just run it. Where was the one I was just looking at? I'm even interested in Eagles at the Giants. Barkley going home. Yeah, what are we going to get there? I mean, that should be a really good game.
100%.
Ravens, Bucks.
Yeah. You got 2 Monday night games this week. I don't know. Obviously, the one's going to be really good, but then the next one's Chargers, Arizona. Like, why is that a prime
They
time?
threw that on free TV.
Why is that a prime
They're
time?
They're giving that to the poor folk. Yeah. That's horrible. That's what they're giving the poor folk. Come on.
That's the game. That's the game that if you were on a plane flying somewhere else, that's the one option you'd get that was free to watch.
Yeah.
It's good.
Man. Hey, I'll tell you what, though. Go ahead. I was just going to tell you, Monday Night Football, my new guy, my new favorite announcer ever is Troy Aikman. It just seems this year this guy is just raw. He's raw, and he is just saying what he feels. And he was talking about the Jets. Buck made this comment or something was going on, and Troy's like, I'm going to tell you what, it's hard to tackle anybody when you don't use your arms because they were just giving shoulder tackles and stuff. I thought that line was awesome. He had like 3 other these zingers he's putting in there on these guys. You're like, all right, Troy's at another level right
No,
now.
Troy kind of keeps it real too with everything. Any interview you've seen him with
Yeah.
and whatnot. Obviously Troy Aikman, Cowboys legend and everything, but he talks about the Cowboys too and how he did not like that. He did not like ownership or anything. Like you see him now, and he doesn't really resonate with the Cowboys really anymore, just because of the standoff he's had with them. He keeps it very. I mean, and the dude's a Super Bowl champ with them, everything. So he keeps it real with everything that's gone on with the Cowboys too, which is I think is very interesting.
That's a great point. And think about all those Cowboys, right? Even though it was 20 years ago, you don't bring them home a lot. Like you don't see Emmitt Smith, Troy, Michael Irvin on the sidelines at Cowboy games.
You don't see you don't see Dion over there either.
Yeah, but like the big three were, those guys: Irvin, Smith, and Troy. And you don't see them at the games. You don't see them just walking the sidelines, talking to the players. Yeah, that is interesting, and probably has a lot to do with Jerry.
Oh yeah, and that's
I think part of it is, and Sash could talk on this because he knows more. But I think those guys are Jimmy Johnson guys.
100%. Jimmy Johnson's got a lot of bad blood with them. I mean, great.
That's what I'm saying. So they're like, Jimmy's my guy. It's 20 years. He's not in the Ring of Fame. He's not. You haven't hung up his name yet. Jerry Jones is like, we're gonna do it. When we doing this? Like, and I think those are his players. And so I think that's another part of that riff. Like, dude, coach, how are you on the outs with coach? Which, if you don't mind if I flip to you, right? Go back to Detroit. Did you see the clip where they're giving out the game balls? Dan Campbell's giving game balls out.
No, I didn't.
He gave one. He gave one to Jared Goff, and I forget the defender he gave it to. Man, that guy has this team such a great. They are a team right now. That's what I took out of it when I saw him in that locker room. And the way he was talking to the team, and these guys will run through a wall for him. I'm not saying they're going to beat Minnesota, but he has them right where they want to be. And then at the very end, he's like, all right, break it down. And Jared Goff was like, hold up, 1 sec. And he gave his game ball back to Campbell and said, Coach, you're our effing rock. This is your house. You play for the Cowboys. And this, like, you can see how they love him. He loves his team. They're going to be a hard out. I'm not telling you that they're going to win a Super Bowl, but they love him and they'll do anything for that guy. And you could just see it. I wish you had seen it. You could still find it on the tapes of and everything. I mean, they are all in on Dan Campbell, those players. Yeah. And that's what I think the other 3/4 of these teams need. They don't have that coach that
100%. 100%. You can, and that it's like he said, ladies and gents. First of all, shout out to all the live viewers and listeners. Appreciate you guys here. Throw a little comment in the chat. We'll give you a shout out. Always is the Bet Champ Show after hours. Exactly what you're saying, though. You can tell certain teams that don't like their coach. You can tell by the way they play and everything. And we go again, going back to the Lions. These guys know their strength, and they're going to keep doing it to you because they know they can. And they have some. You look at Jared Goff, right? You look at him a couple years ago, mediocre quarterback, whatnot. Man, this guy has all the confidence in the world because he's on it. He's on it. He knows where he's at right now. He knows it's his team. And I love it. I think Dan Campbell's great. He gets these guys hyped and everything. But that's what you need. You need the diversity over there with your team. You need a sense of what's the word I'm looking for? You need the culture. You need the culture over there.
That's a culture. That's a good way. It's a culture. He's a leader, and that's what I think the young guys appreciate. He's young as well, but he's a leader. He's going to be in the weight room with you. He's going to be out there talking shit with you when they're reviewing tape. He's doing everything with these guys, and the way he talks to them when you just watch it. He'll tell them there's a tape from getting ready for preseason in camp, and they're in pads and helmets, and he's just like, guys, if there was any other way, I wouldn't have you in this. I wouldn't have you wearing it, but this is the only way we get ready. And they're just like this absorbing him. He's like, all I think about from when I wake up till I go to bed is you guys and how we can. And they're just like, oh man, this coach, he cares about me. Other coaches are kind of, and I get it. So think about, you were in the military, right? We had great commanders, you had so-so commanders, and usually your great commanders are ones that don't put their rank above those below them. They know what their rank is, and we below know what their rank is. You don't have to tell us you're the commander every day. But they come down and they can talk to you and mingle with you and just relate with you. And you're like, hey, I like this guy. I'll follow this guy anywhere. Then you have the ones that are like, hey, why isn't the room staying at attention when I walk in? Why isn't this? You're like, who the fuck's this guy? That's your difference with Dan Campbell. That team is bought in. I don't care where else he goes, if it'll work again, but that team is bought into their coach.
100%. Yeah,
100%.
love it. New teams starting to form, new good teams starting to form, which is really cool about this year. We're gonna see. It's gonna be a fun one. Obviously we got Thursday night football coming up. We got the Broncos. Sean Payton returning to New Orleans. How are we feeling about this one? Again, just another. I just can't stand that these games are on Prime. I really can't. Monday Night Football is so great. It's so great. Like you said, the commentating's great. You can, and what I've been falling in love with Monday Night Football too, is I've honestly liked watching the Manning cast. I honestly enjoy that because it's cool. Obviously, Peyton and Eli joke around with each other. They have guests on and everything, but it's cool seeing what these guys are seeing now retired, on what plays certain guys should be running in the huddle, where they are, where the ball should be spot. They're walking you through everything. And it's crazy because they're predicting exactly what's going to happen because they know how the defense is playing. So I've been falling in love with Monday Night Football on both ends and everything. And then you got, Thursday night, they really just got to clean that up. You really got to clean it up.
Yeah. Well, you got an 80-year-old Al Michaels, and I'm all about people working. But, you kind of might be, you can just go to a Sunday game, right? Be at a regional somewhere. And then Chris Collinsworth, people just, I don't like them. Maybe some do. But you're going to see it in this game Thursday. Bo Nix is going to throw a pass. He's going to tell you no one else can throw that pass like Bo just did. He's the greatest. It's like, Chris, settle down, man. I would have liked it if Derek Carr was there. I would have liked it if you guys were healthy as well. But we got to play what's there. It's a short turn for you. So that's going to be interesting. And then Sean Payton going back home again. I don't think there's any. I mean, he brought him a Super Bowl, right? I don't think there's any hard, like, hey, I hate this guy.
Bad blood. They'll definitely be putting videos up on the screen and everything. I'm sure it'll be surreal for him. Great to be back and everything.
But then you play the game. So
Spencer Rattler, right? You got Spencer Rattler now making a start for New Orleans.
I think all the rookies did well this week. Even Drake May.
The crazy part,
I'll tell you what, with that Manning cast, because I switch back and forth. I'm an old head, so I like the old way, right? But I did catch right before the half with Bill Belichick was on. And I'm liking Bill as a commentator too. He's getting funnier and funnier and getting like he's unwinding. But he called it as well. He's like, listen, there's two things that are going on right now with the Jets at the half. And I don't know if you remember, but he basically had said, hey, the Jets are telling Aaron, if the sideline's open, hit the sideline so you can get the field goal, right? If they protect the sideline, he's going to do his Hail Mary. And then as soon as they broke and set up, Bill Belichick said, they're covering the sides. He's going for a Hail Mary. Next thing you know, he's throwing a Hail Mary, and there it is. Boom. Like that, to your point, you got at least, we'll say 2.5. You got Belichick and Peyton, who are fucking geniuses. And you got Eli. Eli got 2 rings, but you got 2 guys that are telling you how they see it, right? I mean, that was good. Bill's a defensive guy. You got Peyton on the other end of it, so that's kind of neat to listen to. But I still like the play-by-play guys. I tried to listen to them once, and it was the 2 guys from Barstool. They're ex-players. They have their own podcast on Barstool. And I was like, what? This is kind of – but I have seen other clips of them. I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. But when you can get Belichick telling you what's going on and a Peyton, I mean, that's golden. That's how you learn the game. We can watch it every Sunday. You want to learn football, you listen to these guys because they're telling you about the game and what to look for and what they see. Yeah, 100%.
100%. Yeah, make Thursday night football better. I mean, it's got to get better. It's like you said, Collinsworth. He's just getting old. I mean, but you look at some of these guys. These guys aren't going anywhere because of who they are, how long they've done it for, which kind of hurts in some sense too. You gotta figure out what the people like. You can see on social media that the media don't really like us. You know, the people, the viewers. We don't really like Collinsworth and everything just because how he is, and he's always. It's like he's always biased.
Yeah, whoever's on is the greatest.
He's always in love with a certain someone,
Yeah.
just because all of this. So it's like, dude, I like it when guys are real in the booth. I like it when guys are real in the. You can't make that play. I don't know what he's doing out there. That kind of thing. Why are we doing this? Why are we in this scheme? And like, be real with the viewers and everything. Don't kiss up to everything that's going on. This is football, baby. Go ahead.
Nope, you good.
I was just gonna say, usually we kind of give out a little play or anything we might be looking at. Obviously nothing's decided yet, but anything with that Thursday night game going on, you're kind of looking at to see might be a potential play. I think right now the Broncos are favorited there, -2.5. Obviously because Spencer Rattler's playing and everything, but a little scary with how things ended up with the Chargers and everything. So obviously everything's really close right there.
So I haven't yet, right? We're still. I mean, tomorrow will probably be the day. I'll kind of look at stuff. I know you guys clown me, man, but that's probably a take a knee for me. Lately, what I've been doing, man, I've picked like 2 or 3 games, and I bet like $100 on them. I'm just trying to turn some money instead of playing little, bet eight games, all small. So I'll just bet a lot on 1 or 2 games that I feel really, really confident about. And that's not one of them. Yeah, right. There's too many outliers. We have no idea how it's going to be and even who's playing. So I apologize to the people out there. But listen to our Saturday show. We give out bangers.
100%.
And even on the social media. Yeah.
And you mentioned the Saturday show, ladies and gentlemen, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Every Saturday we'll have a parlay show, usually 4 legs for sure. I wanted to get Wit on tonight because I think we need to have a little talk with things that are going on with certain plays that are being thrown out and everything. Obviously, obviously we had stuff happening. 2 guys had opposite plays and everything. We decided to go with it. All right, that happened. It was, of course, it was the one leg that screwed us. And then you look at last week and everything. A play. I won't throw out the name here. Someone throws out a play and everything, and another person is like, hey, they don't have some of these receivers in and everything like that. And
they're top 5 receivers.
They're
starting freshmen.
And again, a lot of things happen with that. So I think there needs to be some conversations had, like, hey, if there's some questions going on with some things. Especially if Big E's telling you, I might listen. I might listen to what Big E's saying. So it's all fun and games, though, ladies and gents. Shout out to all the live viewers and listeners. Appreciate you guys. Get that parlay show going for you every 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time every Saturday. Get you a 4-leg parlay for the weekend. Let's anything else kind of in the air, E, you want to throw out there?
I'm gonna, and I'll probably put these in tomorrow. But I like two college plays. I like USC -7.5 at Maryland. I really like that. Excuse me. I think that I'd take that probably up to 10 if the line changes. That's why we catch it now. And then I'll take the over of the Georgia-Texas game as well.
100%. You heard it here first, ladies and gents.
He's got 55.5.
If there's one thing I'll tell you guys, to all the live viewers and listeners out there, E has been on an absolute tear for college football. When he throws out a college football play, I've been taking all of them. And we'll definitely get the record out here, but I can guarantee you he's well over 500. I don't even think he's lost a college game this year so far. and everything.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like, I'm just trying something different now. Instead of betting all these games, it's like, all right, what do you really, really feel good about? And that's where I'll go. I gave up parlays. I'd maybe do a 2-teamer, but it started with parlays, and you start thinking, well, if I could add another team. But now you're not going with what you really like. You're just trying to get that one more leg to this parlay, right?
Yeah, right.
So it was like, man, fuck all that, and just let me hammer these teams. So I'll have 2 plays. I'll bet $100 each, maybe 125, and see how it goes. It comes back, and then I'll parlay that into 1 or 2 NFL games. And then I like I said, I take a knee. I enjoy the other ones. I've been doing it for so many years. I used to have to bet everything I watched, and then you say, okay, because it's fun. You're just fucking around. Now it's like I'm trying to. It's not a business, but I like it when I can pay my gas bill on a Saturday after these games. I pay my electric bill thanks to BetMGM. It's nice. So I'm trying to have a different focus on things.
100%, ladies and gents. You heard it here first. Like I said, if he's throwing out college football plays, I'm highly listen to him, highly look at him, because this guy's been on an absolute tear. He's going to continue to do so. And we'll get some more plays off Sunday football. And Soch props. Soch has been absolutely killing NFL props, ladies and gents. So if you hear him on the show, look into him, see what you like. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok. That's at the Bet Champ Show, guys. We got vids coming out for plays for whatever game you like. And if there's a game you're looking at and you're like, hey, I'm looking for a play here, or I'm looking at this play, send us a DM, send us a message. We'll kind of talk you through what we're seeing as well, here to help you guys out and have some fun. We love all things sports. Bet Champ Show after hours. You got ZJ, you got Big E in the house, Soch and Wit out on assignment. So hopefully we see him in the next show. Let's put a bow on this thing. No E, anything you want to throw out to the people, into the world? Get it.
Hey, we're getting into this, right? We're getting into World Series time. That's Witt's window, right? That's his thing, is this baseball stuff. But it's that NBA is going to start in, I think, 8 days. That's going to be wild. And then what does that mean? That means we're right around the corner from NCAA going. So it's just a lot of great things going on. 100%. I'm thinking about putting a future on the under on the Sixers.
I got you. Yeah, guys. More sports coming your way. We got the NBA season about to kick off here a little over a week, so not too long at all. So we'll be off and rolling with that. You got football, of course, and you got the NBA, and you got MLB starting in the playoffs right now. So a lot of things happening, ladies and gents. We love sports. If you guys want to get in the conversation, toss us something our way. We'll throw you out on the show, give you a shout out as always. But appreciate all the live viewers and listeners. You got me and E tonight. Hopefully you liked it. We'll be back. We'll see you in the next episode. As we always like to stay fresh, stay frosty, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.
Peace. Good deal, ZJ.